Today is a very exciting day, and not just because it's sunny, it's one of those few days here in the UK, but because I will be access controlling the shed that you see here in the back. You might think it's a bit overkill. I do agree. I just have a few tools in there and some bottles of wine, but I really wanted to have a working access controller that I can test on a weekly basis. When I joined Verkada more than 3 years ago, we had the AC41, which is a 4-door controller. It's really a big box and makes it not so easy to deploy in these scenarios. It needs to be powered from the mains, similar to the 42 and the 62, and you also have to provide internet connectivity to it. So I either put it there in the shed and have issues with the space and have to cover both internet and power for it, or I put it back in the house and run low voltage cables to all the components. Not great. But ever since then, we released the AC12. And that is the single door controller that, as you can see here, comes in a very small form factor. This also takes power via PoE, making it ideal because all I need is a single Ethernet run from my house to get it up and running. So I'm going to put one of these in the shed. I'm going to connect all the components to it, including the AD33 reader, the Rex, the DPI, and the maglock, and then have a small CM camera to give me video verification of all the events. But wait, there's more, because ahead of its release in UK and mainland Europe, I also have an outdoor cellular gateway to test. I have plenty of 4G signal in the area, so I won't actually be relying on my broadband line to get this connected to the internet at all. All the gateways do come with a Verkada SIM, but you can obviously use your own if that is more cost effective. As I open it, I have a port here marked PoE, so I'll still be running an Ethernet cable purely to supply it power. It will then connect to the AC12 and the camera downstream. As opposed to an indoor gateway that is only mains powered, this can support mains, PoE, or even power via terminal blocks if you have batteries or solar arrays. One thing to also think about is this PoE++ injector. We introduced PoE++ when we released the multi-sensor and the PTZ because they require far more power than a regular outdoor camera, but those injectors only supply 60 watts. This one supplies 90, so of this I'll have all three devices up and running. It will supply 90 watts to the cellular gateway, that will keep 30, then pass 60 to the AC12, which will again keep 30 and pass 30 to the downstream camera. Keep watching to see how the end result will look like. Okay, so here is the end result, a fully functioning single door controller connected upstream to the gateway and in turn connecting a camera downstream. You'll see all the cables neatly done and connected, one of them leading to the request to exit button over here, and the others all the way up to a maglock and also a separate DPI. Remember, this is very important because without the DPI, I do not know the state of the door and I cannot get alerted for events such as door held open and door forced open. Also back in the shed, I've put a CM42, which is the perfect form factor for a small area such as this. And as I exit the shed, here is the gateway. It's a solid blue, so currently fully operational, running on the Verkada SIM.